Hello? Wow, it works. All right. Let me rename this. It works now. Hell yeah. Can you guys hear me? It says showing it's picking up the mic now. What's up? All right. God damn stupid shit. All right. Okay, okay, that's good. Good. Awesome. Yeah, I have literally no idea why. Uh yeah, it wouldn't even. Okay. Perfect. How's everybody doing? All right, let me just delete that and get this there. All right. Live now. Pinning to Twitter. Howdy. Cool. 1,000 subs. I never would have. Well, I was hoping to get there eventually. um, yeah, I started this channel back in May of last year, and I don't know. I've just thank you. Um, I just always felt like I had shit to say. I follow politics a whole hell of a lot, and just wanted to give my input. I want to be able to like talk to people. I want to be able to, you know, create projects that other people like would enjoy, and just make people think uh, harder about all kinds of things was mostly the intention of this channel. But yeah, what I was trying to say in the other stream, because goddamn Mike wouldn't pick up anything. This will be posted after it's done streaming onto the channel for replay and rewatch. Figured I'd talk more about like the history of this channel and kind of what led to it, and but at some point down the line, I'm going to actually like make a dedicated video to that in more detail. That actually looks good. So, question: what I was asking, what I was asking before, does it look mirrored? Like, are things swapped? Like, is the background swapped? Because on my end, it looks like that. Let me just pull it up on my phone real quick. Oh nope, it looks normal. Looks normal. Yep. Oh nope, it looks normal. Looks normal. Cool. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I've been following the Humus Report for a really long time, and when I saw that he was doing his the dystopian times, there's a little segment he would do that would basically be like a boost to small content creators that really need like that push forward. And I thought that was a really fucking cool concept, because like it's kind of hard to promote your shit when you're so small, and get that kind of reach and exposure. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and I sent in a submission form. Well, a submission video, and he played it on the Dystopian Times. That means like Jordan Sheridan got to see my little promotional video, so I thought that was kind of cool because I followed Status Quo for a while as well. But yeah, like that's a really neat concept because like if you're a really small channel, you're not really going to be in the algorithm. You're not going to be in recommended. Once I hit 1,000 subs, um, I learned that I can do community posts. Like I can just do a little post on YouTube, and all my subscribers will see it on their feed. Well, at least I hope, like most of them. And of course, like this is my first live stream on YouTube ever, so that's really new to me as well. Like I just had audio issues, and you know, even though it said everything was correct, like my microphone, my main Yeti Blue Nano, this tiny thing, it's all right. I like it. Um, it said it was connected and everything, but either way, I digress. um, but yeah, it just happened really quickly. I got a boost from the giant Jimmy Dore project, obviously. But just before that, I actually took a clip from the Vosh pit and just made it about Dylan Burns, basically saying just how Aaron Mate and Jimmy Dore are completely full of shit when it comes to Syria. And you guys catch that debate with Jackson Hinkle that Dylan Burns did? God damn, he just wiped the floor with that moron. Like Jesus. But that gave me some attention. And then after that, the Jimmy Dore project it dropped. My 2 hour mega project that I devoted a whole bunch of time into. Um, easily my best work. Like everything else just pales in comparison. To be honest, that started getting me like a couple hundred subscribers. Um, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, Monica. Um, yeah, and that video, obviously it's been a hot button issue for a while because Jimmy Dore's notorious dumb fuck and terrible for the left. Um, and then shortly after, um, I submitted my video to Mike. I emailed it to him, and he put it on the Dystopian Times. And for the live viewers who are watching it, because I don't think he keeps any of the Dystopian Times streams posted. I think they go unlisted. I think. Excuse me. I got some from that, and then his actual posting, like, because for each of his for each of the people that submit, they get their own special video, and so like. I got my own, like it's just a little clip of like, hey, I'm stateless patriot. I blah blah blah. Come check me out. Uh, they start coming in just sub after sub after sub, and I kind of leveled out like in the upper 900s, but over time it finally got me over that edge, like maybe a week later, and now I'm over 1,000 subs. So really happy about that because the more people that's able to watch me, like the more attention I get to um, you know projects that uh, basically go over my past because I didn't always used to be a leftist. I actually got into politics sort of kind of in 2015, when everybody was announcing the run for president, you had Trump, you had Hillary, and then all of a sudden, I can't find the clip. It's hard to find um, like super early Democratic debates from 2015, but I saw a clip from Bernie Sanders. I'm almost certain it was at the end of one of the debates. Um, and it was just a clip of him on Facebook. And I remember distinctly, like, the first thing he said was like, "Let this be a message to the American people." And then he just spills out everything. This is what's wrong with our country. Our campaign finance system is corrupt, blah, blah, blah. And just all this shit. I was just like, who is this man? And so, I mean, I got to see him in person. Uh, maybe I'll actually upload like the video I took that from that day, just like a little fun bonus video because I got to see Bernie in person back in August 2019 when he was on the campaign trail, and yeah, but that's kind of what kickstarted it for me. And then, but I didn't know anything about BreadTube. They were barely it was barely a thing back then, 2015, 2016. Yeah, absolutely. Totally really didn't care about politics. Orange Mussolini ran for president. It's good I learned about Bernie. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. I really appreciate that. Yeah. No, I'm utterly humbled for sure. um, but I was young. Like at the time I was 19, 20, 21. Didn't really understand too much about the inner workings of politics. And honestly, like there's a tweet that went viral that I can relate to really bad, and it basically goes like, the worst thing I ever did for my mental health was learn how the world works when it comes to politics and how it relates to social issues, et cetera, et cetera. And it's so true because I'm in tune to it every day, and it's like it takes a toll on you. Like it's really it's grating. David Sirota was just on Crystal Kyle and Friends, and he talked about, yeah, I can't feed into political nihilism. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand the pessimism because you feed uh your mindset. You feed your own worldview. If you choose to be a pessimist, you're going to look at the world through a pessimistic lens, or a nihilistic lens, etc. I acknowledge nihilism. I acknowledge pessimism, but that's not the framework of which I view the world and politics in general. That's why I'm so in favor of the lesser of two evils, because what matters in the end is not your tightly held principles or ideals. It's helping as much people as possible through whatever means necessary. And people need to understand it's not up to just one man in the White House or woman. It's uh, it's at the local level, it's at the state level. Electoral politics is not just relegated to who's going to be president. It it's yeah. A lot of people don't seem to understand that, or they just outright ignore it, and it's so fucking frustrating. Like they're I it's like I don't really have the time to like devote to like making videos about these things, which are very important to me, and I think a lot of people can relate to them. Just these feelings I have about what I just talked about. Um, but it's like I I have a day job and I'm really only free most weekends. But at the same time, like maybe I want to play some video games. Maybe I want to hang out with my partner or my brother, or you know, play music. I play guitar. Like maybe I want to do that. Or just like catch up on some TV shows. Or just mindlessly scroll through Twitter like many of us do. Yeah, too many people unfortunately go from realist to pessimistic. Yeah, it doesn't help anybody with anything. That's absolutely true. Like people don't know like what's practical. Um, People think that like uh, jumping through hoops in order to get something like achieved is just not worth the time. And I don't fuck with those people at all. Like, you got to put in effort. That's crucial to getting anything done. You can't just leave it up to other people. And just bitching about it, complaining about it, like these fake leftists do. Fucking Jimmy Dore, the Convo Couch Chuckle Fucks, Nico House. It accomplishes absolutely nothing, and it's worse when self-centered like nihilists feed into that. It's like, yes, like how do you even like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go out of my way to feed into channels that tell me just how bad everything is and how corrupt everything is. It's like, I fucking know, so what are we going to do about it? Sorry to steal that from Kyle Kalinske, but like seriously, like yeah, those guys are worse than us. Yep, yep, yeah, seriously. But getting back to like the history of like my politics, I actually did take more of a swing to the right, sort of kind of by the time like Trump won, um, because I was young. I was barely 21. I still didn't really understand like the political dichotomy in the United States, the duopoly and shit. And for a while, I was following Bernie, and I would still follow like mainstream like news and stuff, like but I was really big into skepticism. I was really big into atheism because I really enjoyed uh, logical debates, logical discussions, uh, and watching certain atheists and skeptics on YouTube was very intellectually stimulating. Um, and from that, I that's when I was like introduced to debates and debunking people, refuting arguments. And once the atheist movement kind of like tapered off a little bit, a lot of them, including myself, started moving on to politics, and that's where I've been ever since. But at the time, I wanted to hear because I didn't know like what was like the most correct positions, I guess you could say. Uh, am I considering debating myself? Well, I'll get to that in a second, actually. Um, that's actually going to be part of the series that I'm going to be doing pretty soon, because I do have old videos where I kind of make some of those kind of like right of center, um, insufferable like centrist arguments and shit. Excuse me. But I started listening to more conservative media, like late 2016. Like, okay, like, well, Trump saying some of the things that Bernie's saying when it comes to like the working class. There's a political advertisement that Trump put out in mid to late 2016 that was great. It was populist. It was centered around like corruption and the working class and basically cleaning up Washington and shit. And it was like really done, and it was compelling. I didn't really pay too much attention to like what a fucking phony he was. I just couldn't stand Hillary. I couldn't stand the Democratic Party for screwing over Bernie Sanders, who was the obviously better candidate. He should be on his second term right now. Like, to this day, that frustrates me, and because of that frustration, I ended up shifting to the right. Um, I unironically downplayed his victory and what it meant. I was just like happy to see, like, because what happened was all day I was seeing just like 20 bad articles a day about like how bad and dumb Trump is. I saw like little to no coverage of Hillary Clinton because like there's really not anything redeeming about her. So like, eh, how are you going to convince people to vote for her? It's like, how bad could Trump be? And I kind of fed into that mindset. I was naive at the time, as were arguably a whole bunch of other people. And that's kind of what started my trajectory into conservatism. I actually listen, and if you go back to my channel, I actually have a video on this. But Rush Limbaugh was a I was actually like constantly listening to him, and God, I to this day I don't know what I saw in it. Like, yeah, seriously. Um, he didn't really teach me anything, and like I can kind of still sort of see through his arguments because like because of my interest in skepticism and atheism, and like whenever he was like anti-science and like religious and shit, I was just like, fuck off, you're full of shit. But he taught me a lot about what he called the drive-by media, and I actually kind of found that a little helpful, I guess you could say, because the media operates in a way that like they're all like basically interconnected, and they cover things kind of like the same way. Um, or they cover things in a way that's kind of reckless, like kind of like the way that like a paparazzi functions. And they don't really do like fact reporting, but it obviously Rush's arguments were not nearly as compelling, but it did. But the examples that he showed, like at the time, was like, wow, why would they do that? Why would the mainstream media do this and that and all that? And so that eventually led me to because I was still following atheism. It That eventually got me into anti SJW content, and a lot of that was started by the Amazing Atheist. But he did it in a way that wasn't like, and even him, Shoe on Head, and Chris Ray Gun even like say like, yeah, this wasn't our intention. Like, their intention was, wow, look at these silly people, look how crazy they're acting. Isn't this funny? But there are other people that took it even further, who took it like in a much more um, dangerous and God, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, like ulterior. Well, they had ulterior motives. Like, wow, look at these people. Aren't they crazy? Are they dumb? These people are a threat to Western civilization, and it's just like, what? So, and a lot of that was like way. It was very convoluted. Like, there were a lot of people that were like, they meant it, but people today that are still consistent, like the Amazing Atheists, are like, no, I never bought into like the fucking conservative framework, the fascists, like, oh my god, these SJWs and their woke agenda, the gay agenda, the trans agenda is so crazy. It's all a ploy. It's all a conspiracy to make men less masculine and turn our turn the West into communist countries and shit. It's just, you're fucking nuts. You're fucking stupid. But at the time, I did kind of buy into that fear mongering a little bit. Like I thought, wow, progressives are actually kind of crazy, and so for a while, I actually steered away from it, and I was obsessed with Sargon of Akkad. I was watching him like every single video I got the chance. Like This Week in Stupid, it was all for whatever reason it was compelling. Like he made it seem as if like uh the left, the broad left, like just the left are all anti SJWs and they're all crazy and stupid, but they're also dangerous. And that is a key element of fascism. The enemy is both weak and the enemy is strong. It's contradictory on purpose. But yeah, it's that kind of drew me in for a while. I actually fell for that shit. But then eventually I discovered secular talk. Kyle Kalinske really um, helped pull me out of that shit. I would say early to mid 2018. He brought me back to earth and basically took me from being like a right of center centrist to a full on like social democrat. And eventually I started seeing through all the anti SJW bullshit. Kyle even talked with Sargon of Akkad a few times, and Sargon was really caught off guard by Kyle saying, I don't think this this social justice warrior stuff is that big of a concern as a lot of people like to make it out to be. And Sargon was just taken aback by it. And yeah, it really said a lot because people like Sargon rely on social justice warriors for their bread and butter, and they always have. There's still a few channels like that. I actually just did a tier list on my channel. It's like one of my newest videos on various anti SJWs from the past, uh, and where how they hold up today, um, and my feelings on them compared to before, and yeah, a lot of them are still kind of milking that, like, oh wow, isn't the left crazy? Oh, I'm not conservative. But a lot of them have gone mask off, that's for sure, or just outright haven't changed a fucking bit. Um, but yeah, and then God, I need some water. But yeah, that was 2018, and a big shift in my politics was the Justice Democrats, who I eventually learned Kyle had a major role in creating. And that still, to me, to this day, I find that to just be remarkable. Him and Cenk. Um, AOC. AOC was saying all the things that Bernie Sanders was saying just a couple years before, and still to that point. And that the coverage of AOC from frauds like Sargon of Akkad and just crazies like him uh, was clearly disingenuous. Obviously, like just straight up lying about like her positions, like treating her like a communist. When just a couple years before that, people like Sargon were like, "Yeah, I'm kind of open to social democratic ideas. I kind of like Bernie. I kind of like the things that he points out." And then that all basically changed in 2018, and I started seeing through the grift for what it was. It was at that point that I started watching secular talk, the Humanist Report, the Rational National, um, fucking David Packman, even Jimmy Dore. I didn't really. It took me a while to kind of like see through him. Um, but it's not like I watched him that often. But he was just one of those people early on. And I became a social democrat basically. Yeah, just the outright smears of AOC, even to this day, it's like ridiculous. It's unwarranted. Still have to watch Drunkenly. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm actually like really smashed in that video. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't really act. Yeah, he wasn't acting crazy 3 years ago. But I think just like everybody's I think Bernie losing the primaries just got to everybody. It turned people into Bernie or busters, which I actually was for a while until I discovered Vosh. Vosh destroyed Bernie or busters and made better arguments than they did. That's where actually like a lot of my politics tends to like lie. Is can you make a better argument, a more consistent, logically sound, and reasonable argument that's not based on just pure emotion and irrationality? And can you make your points in a way that covers like all the contentions? Uh, that's really all politics is. That's really all debate is. Like, uh, how well do your arguments hold up against scrutiny? And that's kind of why, like, Vosh basically turned me into a libertarian socialist. I still don't know if that's like the right word, but it's like basically like anarcho socialist, libertarian socialist, uh, market socialist, what have you. But basically like the green quadrant, like down and leftward. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have actually neglected to upload my 8 values test, so that's going to be going up after this stream is over. Oh yeah, based libertarian socialism is based. Yeah, and what's frustrating is that like you, I don't really want to get into it, but just the infighting on the left and what people consider leftism to be, and how everything is so conflated, and how like liberals and conservatives basically see the left as just like this big old monolith, and it's really not. It's like, have you talked to a tanky? They're not leftists. I mean, for you to consider anarchists to be fascists, or liberals, even liberals to be fascists, like I you kind of lost me there. Yeah, it yeah, I can go on and on about that, but my point is just make better arguments. We got 6 concurrent viewers right now. All right. Yeah, I'm all streaming this straight off my webcam. I have a like an OBS program, so maybe in the future I'll do live streams through that. Um, but yeah, so that's basically like a summarization of my political journey. Excuse me. And I completely reject the argument that like, oh, like you can't change your mind that quickly. Like, excuse me, like, oh, you made a really dumb take on trans people just 4 or 5 years ago. You're not a real leftist. You're not a real ally. Just like, people change. Like, people could change for the worst, uh, obviously, but people can also change for the better. Like, there are real world examples, uh, other lefty YouTubers and online lefty personalities make this point too, but the left is absolutely terrible at rehabilitating people. That's for sure. Like, if you've held any nominally right wing beliefs before, then you're not forgiven. Like, it's unfair. Like, honestly, like, people don't give uh people don't give enough of a the benefit of a doubt. And not only that, like, many on the left are just completely uncharitable uh to other people, like and their views and all that. It's just the way that people are treated. It's like it obviously it's going to push people away, and that's just not what we should be doing. Like, we shouldn't be trying to court conservatives. Well, actually, we should, but not in the way that, like, uh somehow benefits Republicans. You know, we shouldn't, like, say, like, wow, aren't the Democrats bad? Like, isn't the left crazy? And then just leave it at that. Because if that's like the end of your argument, like, liberals bad, Democrats bad, all that's going to do is just lead people to, like, oh, therefore might as well allow the Republicans to win. And even if they don't make that case, like, but especially if they don't, like, cover the bad things that Republicans do and how much worse they are for the fucking country, then yeah, I don't trust anybody like that. That's my thing. Like, cannot stand that shit. Alrighty. Wonder how long I want to do this. I only say that because I kind of want to get more coffee. So I'll be right back. Literally just right back. Let me getting coffee. Oh no. Caps lock failed me once again. We'll be right back. Yes, these are Super Mario pajamas. All right. Okay. So, like I was saying earlier in the stream, a big goal of mine is to, a big point of my channel is to, shit, it's to talk to people. Um, I hope to, at some point in the near future, hopefully, talk to other content creators and just be it about, like, topical issues, or ideology, or what my certain views are, what their certain views are on certain things. Um, I think that'd be great, because I am all about, like, just intellectual stimulation. But yeah, I'd love to be like a part of a program or a show or um, a group call. Major points. Yeah. Thank you. Um, but yeah, and with channel growth, I think eventually that will come. That will make itself available to me in time. But I don't know how to like assert myself, and that's kind of like that's like a confliction I have, I guess. Like, and this kind of relates even to capitalism, but it's like, uh, how do I promote myself effectively? How do I insert myself into like um, I don't know, like lefty spaces or certain communities? I mean, it's not like, look. I mean, obviously, I can just do it, but at the same time, it's like imposter syndrome in a way. I think it's like, well, who am I? Like, what do I have to say? What value does my input have? And like, it. I mean, in a way, I am arrogant, but also like, why should anyone listen to me? Like, why should anyone hear my opinion? Like, why am I so special as to like bother certain people? So I get to like talk to them or get a boost. Um, but ultimately, like, coming up with solutions is the real it's the real solution. I mean, it's the real goal. It's making the best arguments possible. And by talking to as many people as possible, getting to hear different perspectives that you otherwise would never have like come up with on your own, I think that's incredibly helpful. And ultimately, that's like, this isn't like a vanity project for me at all. Like, I genuinely want the world to be a better place. I genuinely want the left to be more cohesive and uh, like sound in their arguments. And I genuinely want to like improve the country and society and like various communities. And there's really so much I can do on my end, like, other than just talk to people. Um, I mean, from where I am, I'm not really like, uh, there's not much in terms of community that like uh, I could be involved with, and also have like free time to do what I want. And I just find that frustrating. Uh, but like I said before, I still do believe in getting involved locally when it comes to like voting and understanding like what policies are being passed, like in your town or in your district or your county for that matter, and just how it affects everybody, like how it affects you, and how you could possibly influence that. We all the leftists we can get on you. And yeah, I mean, as a leftist, yeah, like automatically my input is extremely important because I am a leftist. Yeah, that's actually, see, that's exactly what I mean. That's a great point. It's like, we do need more leftists. That's the point. Like, we want to create more leftists because if everybody in the world was like a leftist, one that actually believes in what I was just saying, like improving society in a healthy way, talking to people, making the best arguments, then obviously the world is going to improve at a much faster pace. You know, and that's what matters the most because like we really don't have all the time in the world. Um, So yeah, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, things aren't good enough. Like this isn't good enough. Progressives in Congress, blah blah blah. Like they're all just frauds and shit. So there's no point to doing all this. Just shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut the fuck up, shut up. I hate that shit. Sorry, it's force of habit. So I've been playing guitar for 12 years, and I find it to be a great output or outlet is probably the best word. Um, I have ADHD. Oh yeah. So like whenever I feel like I need to just grab my guitar, I just pick it up from right here and it's sitting right next to me and diddle away. Um, yeah, but it's just another one of my creative outlets, just like this channel. Like I want to be able to make something that people enjoy or can relate to or can make people think. And music is another great way to do that. I sincerely believe. I am all about music. Um, it's just I wish I had more time to fucking focus on it. But yeah, I'll probably keep this going for another like maybe 15-20 minutes. Either way, it's going to be uploaded onto the channel, so that way it can be rewatched. Um, yeah, I've kept a steady 5, 6, 7 people in here, so I appreciate every single one of you that are fucking here, sticking around and checking this out. Ah. um, yeah, it means that like you saw something from me that uh, made you think, or something that I did sparked your interest. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's another thing too. Like uh, keeping up with content that is compelling, um, that people can relate to and enjoy, is also kind of like a big like sort of a pressure. So like um because I do at some point want to make another like gigantic project like I did for the Jimmy Dore video. It's time to stop taking Jimmy Dore seriously, and maybe make that like a series in and of itself. Like I'm sure a lot of people would like to say to see, do you like the guy who plays guard harness to crazy evangelical and anti-vaxxers? I have not seen him actually. Excuse me. I think I've heard of him, but anyone who's playing like guitar out in public, I'm just like, fuck yeah, like more guitars, please. I got one, two, three, five guitars, and it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. I don't have enough guitars. Yeah, I'll check him out. I'll look him up. I do follow a lot of guitar content creators, Nick Nocturnal, Jared Dines, um, Ben Eller, uh, fucking all kinds of people. So it's not just politics. fact, I actually have another channel, and like I have never wanted to like make uh this channel associated with that one because it'd be like just vastly different topics, and I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself that it's probably better for me to do that, but like I don't know. I can't really come up with an argument as to why uh, I should keep them separate. I don't know. Pliny? I can't say I'm familiar with that. No. Speaking of guitar, anybody ever watch Metalocalypse? This is my favorite mug. I love this. It's Squisgar. I am, how do you say, is way more gooders than you. Yeah, death clock, death clock. But yeah, Pliny. Not familiar actually. I'm sorry, but yeah, I follow all sorts of things other than politics. Um, when it comes to like political YouTubers and shit, Andre Antones, he's here on YouTube for sure. Okay, I'll definitely check him out. But near the end of my Jimmy Dore project. Oh yeah, this is where I was going. Near the end of my Jimmy Dore project, there's a little chapter in it that I go over like, oh, all these YouTubers, political YouTubers, lefties, are much better than Jimmy Dore, and I just list off like a shitload, and they're all channels that I definitely like watch pretty frequently, like most of them. Yeah, thanks, Archer. I really appreciate that. Like that, I'm still very just utterly humbled by it all. But yeah, when it comes to like maintaining like content that is compelling and people are interested in, I do want to make other projects like the Jimmy Dore video that are long form, maybe not as long, hopefully. But I'm sure there are plenty of people who enjoyed that video, or people who haven't even seen it yet, that would enjoy a similar style video that go after other people like Glenn Greenwald or Brianna Joy Gray or Tulsi Gabbard, who's kind of been a little mask off lately. But yeah, but at the same time, like that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time, and working 45-hour weeks almost, Monday through Friday. And I don't know. It's good to have a topic and to focus. Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing too. Like single topic videos are also really important. I have a few like that, but there are other. I have other videos that like I feel like if I promoted them like today, like maybe made like a little Twitter trailer thing, like I've done for a few other videos. It would get them attention again, because I do. There are some channels that before I started blowing up and had a bunch of subscribers, that I feel like were genuinely like well done. There are a few of them that are kind of just like low quality and like but I don't know. I don't know. One of them was uh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so many people went down a bad road after Bernie's loss. That's for sure. Like, goddamn, and these people really don't have compelling arguments. It's just like, I hate the Democrats, I hate liberals, and I hate Bernie and all these progressives for going along with them, going along with the establishment. It's just like, fuck off. You're so fucking stupid. Get the fuck over yourself. Like, what are you doing? You're just sitting on Twitter endlessly all day bitching. You're fucking getting in Cori Bush's face and shaming her. You're fucking showing up at the Capitol and like just making a complete embarrassment for yourself. That's why like I've grown to respect Anna Kasparian a whole lot more over time because she's so fucking tired of it. Like she's so over all these fake leftists and shit. And like it's like good for her. Like call them out. Call them the fuck out. Yeah. Any reading or movie suggestions? Those are always good for a bit. I mentioned a little earlier in the stream. I have ADHD, and that's not really a good term for it. It's more like executive function disorder. I think is a better name for it. But either, and that's another thing that kind of uh, it interferes with my creative processes and my ability to focus. Because like either I'm like completely invested in something and I just want to like get it done. It's just like yeah, I'm on a fucking roll, or I'm like indifferent, or I'm just disinterested and I just don't want to commit to it. Sorry. Uh, a lot of the time I have to like force myself to just do it. Just do it. And then by the time I get on a roll, it's like okay, yeah, I can do this, you know. Uh, but reading, I can't sit there and just like read a book, you know. I That's why I have to like stick to audiobooks. If I want to read a book, it would be like through an audiobook, which honestly like money. But when it comes to movies, yeah, audiobooks. Movies. I don't watch too many movies lately. Um, I think the Star Wars prequels are very underrated. They have a really, really interesting political message, like all the way throughout. I found that like really compelling. I grew up with the prequels. They're not exactly new movies, but like if you can get through the first two movies, and like really understand like the politics of the situation, it makes episode three like that more fucking insane. Um, but yeah, if you haven't seen Joker, the one with Joaquin Phoenix, I would recommend that. That's also a really good one. Um, yeah, not much in terms of movies, maybe like TV shows here and there, but Wall Street Bets, putting it all out there to land one big blow. At the top of the big dogs, I'll do more hard. Yeah, no, I feel that absolutely. You should run a video game while listening. Yeah, seriously, that's what I do. I have a usually on the weekends. I like to just hook up my like my Xbox 360. I don't even have any new consoles or anything like that. My Xbox 360, maybe even my classic Xbox, and just like have YouTube going. Just like queue up a bunch of videos that I have in my always filled to the brim watch later list, and then just have it going in the background as I'm playing games. Like whether it be like old Call of Duty games like Black Ops or whatever, which I always tend to listen to Deep Fat Fried as I'm playing, or like Borderlands, even like Grand Theft Auto or SOCOM. All the SOCOM servers are actually revived. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that game, but it's an old school third-person shooter from the 2000s. Prequels get so. I agree. Yeah, prequels get very horrible treatment. Prequels are like far superior to the sequels in every single conceivable way. I'm a giant fucking Star Wars nerd. My hallway, like you can see a Kylo Ren mask right there in the hallway. Kylo Ren's mask. I got a bunch of Star Wars posters in the hallway. But The Force Awakens set up so much momentum. Like, it was so exciting. It wasn't the best movie, but it was like, wow, where are they gonna go with this? And The Last Jedi came out. It was not good at all, really. And then The Rise of Skywalker was dog shit. Dog shit. The completely just all that potential, all that fucking potential squandered. Uh, but yeah, like I love the prequels. Like, the first two movies are maybe 6 out of 10, but I still have a very fond appreciation for them. And then Revenge of the Sith is easily my favorite Star Wars movie. Like, it's hard to say between Revenge of the Sith and The Empire Strikes Back. They're fucking great. Yeah, yeah. Seriously, like, my watch later list has literally been at the fucking, like, at the max limit, like 5,000 videos. You can't get above that. And so I'm constantly having to, like, either watch shit from it or, like, go through and, like, okay, did I watch this? Like, let's delete that, or, like, I have multiple special playlists for certain content creators or certain topics or certain themes, dedicated, like, for those types of videos, like a playlist for, like, science or religion or Vosh, because there's, like, Vosh clip channels and shit, or BreadTube, or Sock Dem channels. It's on and on and on, and that kind of frees up the watch later playlist, because every day, like, in my recommended, like, or in my feed, I see something that interests me, and rather than watching it right away, depending on what it is, bing, right there into my watch later playlist, or just into one of my several playlists. So I'm in the theaters. Yeah, I got to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters when that came out, and that was really cool. Um, but when I was a kid, we had the Phantom Menace on VHS, and then um, I think when I was 7 was when the Attack of the Clones came out, and we got that on DVD. And yeah, and so the first Star Wars movies were the that I saw was Episode 1 and 2, and then eventually, um, my dad was like, "Well, we have other. There are other, like, I grew up with the first Star Wars movies, blah blah blah." And then I was shown a VHS of, like, the original Star Wars movie, like what's now known as a New Hope, obviously. Um, and yeah, it just took off from there. And then he had a VHS tape that had a copy of um, The Empire Strikes Back on it. It was like a blank tape, but, like, it was recorded onto, like, The Empire Strikes Back was on this, like, it was, I don't know if you can call it bootleg. It wasn't a bootleg, but used to be able to record off the TV using a VCR and blah blah blah. Fucking VCRs. And then eventually we got the DVDs for the original trilogy, and then I got to see Return of the Jedi. And then Episode 3 came out, and yeah, so yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I wonder what channels of views being added. Yeah, I mean, as long as they're being watched from the watch layer list eventually. Um, I'm not sure exactly what being added to list does for the algorithm myself, actually. But yeah, Star Wars is a giant part of my childhood for sure. Oh shit. Yeah, and even because just recently, me and my partner and my brother rewatched all of the prequels and the original trilogy, and God, the fucking like me and my like knowledge of politics today, rewatching the prequels like really made me just like, my God, like this is so compelling. Like wow, like this Alex Jones, believe it or not, gave the best like explanation, like just describing uh like what the prequels were. Like for some reason, like it was just so fucking on point. Like Palpatine, Sith Lord, uh basically forcing his way to becoming the chancellor of the Republic, the Galactic Republic, and he's literally like funding both sides of the war with the separatists, and now like okay, a Grand Army of the Republic, given more and more power, like emergency powers and shit, and literally controls the fucking war. And it's just all like in secrecy. The Jedi are just like they have no idea. It's so fucking underrated. Like the prequels get way too much shit in my opinion. And then of course the big reveal at the end of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith, and like Anakin's caught in the middle of it. Like right, he's literally caught in the middle of a fucking force divergence that like turns fucking the whole galaxy upside down. It's fucking it's what my friend calls a perfect tragedy. But yeah, have a good one, Nunya. I appreciate you joining in. Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys haven't, ring the bell for notifications so you guys don't miss a video or a stream and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I might itchy mustache. I might wrap this up here pretty soon. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in and joining in on the intellectual stimulation, or listening to me rant, whatever it may be, whatever tickles your fancy, whatever you want to think about it. See what I mean? 8 viewers. Any engagement from Twitter? Operation stream. Wait a minute. I hope I linked to the right one. No, I didn't. That's what I fucking get. Well, either way, people don't know. I have a bigger following on YouTube than I do on Twitter. Got like 1,000 people here. Then I only have what, 216 followers on Twitter. Yeah, if you guys got Twitter, just make sure you guys are following me on there too. It's a Stateless Patriot. And yeah, I'm not terminally on there, like super often. Maybe I'll tweet 4, 5 times a day, not even that, maybe. But yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so right after I'm done this stream, I'm going to upload a brand new video. Yeah, Twitter's bad. It's It's really toxic. However, it is far superior to Facebook. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah, unlike Facebook, like there's kind of like an actual left that seems more like a community than Facebook does. I mean, you got Facebook groups, but like Facebook is a fucking conservative cesspool. It's so bad. Yeah, but after the stream is up, I'll be uploading a video that is just me taking the 8 values test, which is like the political compass test, but it's like 8 quadrants, and like based on your answers, it gives you like your ideology at the end, or what your ideology most closely resembles. And yeah, it's a lot better than the political compass test. I'm jealous. I still got a Facebook, and I still go on it and shit. Mostly because of sentimental reasons. Like I got friends on there, and lots of music related stuff. Um, Old pictures and videos that I've uploaded over time. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my voice is actually kind of getting shot. I'm probably going to wrap this up and maybe play some video games. Probably make myself some lunch and refill my coffee even more because I drink coffee every single goddamn day. But thank all of you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more content. Uh, I'm actually really excited about covering the Stephen Banger channel that I had back in 2018. Back when I was slowly starting to transition from like right of center to a sock dem, but I wasn't quite there yet. Um, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of gold in there. Lots of cringy, just like eye rolling moments. Just like, dude, no, you don't really get it. It's gonna be great. So yeah, I will be debating myself. Basically, yeah. That's going to be a series. It's going to be uh, multiple videos. Each video for each video that I did, basically. I think it's probably like there's 5 videos total, but there are other videos that I posted on Facebook that are in the same vein, and they came before that. Um, I felt like, oh, I have opinions on certain things. It's probably going to be potential gold, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, hit the bell if you haven't. Thank you all so much. I'm just gonna end it right here, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you once again. This meant a lot to me.